Indiana travels to take on Michigan State tonight, as I said. Indiana currently third in the Big Ten at 10-6, 19-8 overall. They're looking for their 20th win. I'll have to go back and look, but this would be the earliest they've recorded 20 wins in a season. Got to be in 7 years. I'll have to pull out the book in the break to pull that to confirm that, but I can't imagine because of knowing they never finished above ninth in the Big Ten during Archie's tenure and before that. So looking for 20 wins tonight as well.
And last time these two teams played, Trace Jackson-Davis, 31 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists. Michigan State had no answer for him. They have had trouble with defending big guys all season. Zach Edey tore him up in the 2 games that they played. So I don't remember. I don't think Indiana got great production. Well, let me walk that back a little bit. They had 16 or 17 from Trey Galloway, and then they got, I think, 17 from Tamar Bates off the bench. So they got some production, but outside of those 3 guys, there really wasn't much there. Now, obviously, they didn't need to. Indiana won that game by 13 points. So it's going to be interesting. This is going to be a game where I think that the every game the MO is to go into Trace Jackson-Davis and let him, run the show. But I think even more so today because Michigan State has struggled with good big men in the Big Ten this season. I think if Trace Jackson-Davis plays the way he's been playing these last 2 months, I don't want to say they're going to run him out of the gym because of some of the things we talked about, and I'm not going to bring those up because I don't like to tie those 2 things together. But I think that Indiana's going to have a great opportunity to win. It's a matter of they do need one other person at least to step up in that game tonight. So is it going to be Miller Kopp? Is it going to be Jalen Hood-Schifino? Who's it going to be to help Trace Jackson-Davis out? But as long as he's able to get his, I think that Indiana's going to be in a really good spot to get out of Michigan State with a win and keep that door ever so slightly cracked on a co-Big Ten championship.
Every game, that's something that I say about it in Indiana. Who's going to be that third guy? Miller Kopp needs to start consistently being that guy. He struggled at Northwestern, but that was partly because of all the stuff that was going on. He comes back, has a really, really good game. Seems like he's locked in. If he could stay that way and be that guy and look for his shot like he did the other night, his first 3-pointer was 3 or 4 feet behind the line. So that's confidence. That's aggression. That's wanting to shoot. I want to shoot this ball. He needs to stay that way. He needs to be one of those guys that just becomes a third guy, and then Indiana can then start trying to count on an alternate fourth guy. That's what continues to make teams better, especially as you go down the stretch. You mentioned. I think
Miller Kopp's going to be that alternate fourth guy. Or maybe an alternate third guy. I don't know. I just don't see. It's almost like Indiana has an alternate second, third, and fourth guy, right? Like
they have that, and that's been the problem. They have, and I see that's been the problem. No. It's Jalen Hood-Schifino and Trace Jackson-Davis.
Right. That's yes, yeah. I would agree with that.
The third guys, there has been no solid third guy. That's the problem.
Right.
Trey Galloway 1 game, Miller Kopp 1 game. Geronimo's been kind of issue. Malik Renew.
I don't know if that's
as long as they're getting. It is when Jalen Hood-Schifino is struggling in the first half.
Yeah, that's fair.
You need that third guy always to be consistent, and so Indiana just needs to get that if they want to continue to rise.
Right, I agree.
To be better, to win, to get to the Big Ten championship game, to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. That's what you're going to have.
Right.
To do that. So Purdue 13-4 right now. It would be very tough for Indiana to catch them. There would have to be 2 more losses for the Boilers. Yep. Indiana gets to play them once.
And they don't have they're off until Saturday. Till Saturday night. So
Purdue is.
Yeah. So maybe if you hand them that loss and then they go in and to Wisconsin, you said earlier,
Purdue
Jimmy,
is resting up, baby.
they are resting up. It's not easy to go on the road and win, even though Wisconsin is not playing good basketball right now. Well, they really haven't all season, but you never know. Purdue's been shell-shocked a few times away from Mackey Arena.
Indiana just needs to stay in this second, third slot of the Big Ten standings. Yeah. So that way you go into the tournament with a double bye on the opposite side of Purdue. Right. And then, like I said, it's going to be an Indiana Purdue Big Ten title championship, which is going to be unbelievable. But tonight, I digress again. Indiana taking on Sparty. Sparty has, they didn't start the year great, but we expected that they would start to come around as usual, as Tom Izzo teams do. Kind of they've been okay. They're 10-2 at home. On the road, they're 3-6, and 3-2 on neutral sites. So they're not. This is not a bad team. They're sitting in a position right now that I expect them to be a tournament team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Michigan is a half a game in front of them, but Michigan's not going to make the tournament. Now it's going to be interesting to see Michigan State and Penn State. I think that they're on the very bottom. I don't know if they're in the last 4 out or what, but they're identical record-wise, Michigan State and Penn State. Well, no, I take that back. Penn State is 2 games under 500 to Big Ten. That's trouble. Michigan State right now 1 game over 500 in the Big Ten. So that's something that they have to be wary of. Selection committees don't like under 500 teams, but I think sometimes, especially with a conference like the Big Ten, Michigan State would get the benefit of the doubt if it was 1 game under, but they don't want that. Indiana, on the other hand, like I said, they want to go to 11-6 and maintain.
By the way, how nice is it for Indiana to play stress-free basketball and for fans to have stress-free? Like, they're in the tournament. We did not know until the Big Ten tournament last year. And in previous seasons, obviously, they were either on the bubble or they were squarely out.
No. Last year, we thought they were in after the Big Ten tournament. I thought that they were in after the Big Ten tournament.
That's what I'm saying. But
they were not. It was.
If they would have lost that game to Michigan.
Let me rephrase it. I thought that they were in after beating Michigan for sure.
In the Big Ten tournament, yes.
And then Illinois, I was like, well, there's no question.
Right.
Well, there was a question. Boy, they barely made it in. Last 4 in. So, right. But yes, you are right. Absolutely right. Good point. It is completely stress-free because they're playing with house money as far as making the NCAA tournament.
Right.
But now that you are where you are, you want to get as much as you can get. And by that, I mean the best seed that you can get. And Indiana has to maintain their level to keep. Right now, they're a 4 seed.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good spot. And that's
considering where this team was.
Let me tell you, you have to be inside the top 4 seeds this year, I think, to have a shot of going to the Final Four. Well, I don't know about that, but of winning a national championship. Now, is this a team that's good enough to win a national championship? I'd be shocked, beyond shocked. They're missing some things, missing X. He'll be back. How does that come in? I don't know how that blends. So you can't get into all that predictive stuff. But being a top 4 seed changes so much because it changes who you have to play. It changes where you have to play. Right. It matters. Believe me, that there's a reason they do it. You earn that. And so, yeah, and again, and that's why maintaining the top 2 or double bye the Big Ten, uber importance, which, that would take a monumental collapse. I don't even know if
let's see, they've got 1, 2, 3. They've got 4 games left, right?
It's possible. They need to win one of these. Yeah, there's no way that they're going to. Their last 2 games are at home.
I was going to say, I think if they win 3 of the 4, which is entirely possible. Iowa's not playing well. They get Iowa at home. They should have won the first time at Carver Hawkeye.
They're not losing at home.
They got Michigan at home, which they beat Michigan on the road. I think that they'll handle that. They should win Michigan State. Purdue's the toss-up, probably the one game you think that they're going to lose. Although I'm not discarding Indiana from the game at all.
I'm not saying that they can't win that game, but let's say they win.
That's the most likely that they lose. Yeah,
they go 13-7. They might end up.
I think they're going to get a top 4 seed if that happens. Assuming they don't lose the first day of the Big Ten tournament.
Without question.
Friday.
That's all they have to do. They have to just continue to do what they're doing. I think they get to the Big Ten championship game again. Personally, I think they're playing well. I think this is.
I agree.
Is their time.
I think
Trace Jackson Davis needs this, or a Final Four. He needs a crown. I keep calling his career a royal career, because it has been a career of royal that has been royal with all of these individual statistical awards that he is just pulling in like crazy, doing things but he doesn't have that crown jewel of any kind. No Big Ten championships, no Final Fours, nothing massive that you can put on the end, and a Big Ten tournament win. A Big Ten tournament championship, a Final Four, something like that. He needs that to. I'm not saying he needs that for his legacy, but all the other guys that he's in that category with up there, the top 5-6 guys in IU basketball history, all of them have a Big Ten title or more behind their name. And so he wants that. There's no question. He wants it desperately. So